Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines we have for you. We got the BIS, the Yuan, Jim Rickards, and the BRICS coalition in 60 days from now. XRP, we see that imminent price breakout. And how about this? That price breakout, $10 to $13 or $25. We're going to take a look at the XRP market indicators. And how about this one? How Judge Torres may apply the Hinman emails in the Ethereum analysis. Oh, somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube at the top of the screen. Right now, the cryptocurrency market cap is $1.22 trillion. It is off by 1.1%. Good morning, everybody. Bitcoin right now is 30,300 plus. It's up 14.8% on the 7-day. I put all of that based on the recent announcement of the SEC approving the leveraged futures ETFs. I also happen to believe that that is going to be the downfall of Bitcoin. Why did the SEC approve the ability to leverage shorting Bitcoin? Well, I believe the institutions are going to show us that at some point in the future. Ethereum, 1,800 plus right now, up 9% on the 7-day. Tether market cap, 83.1 billion plus, watching it closely. 48 cents and holding right now for XRP, which is off by 1.9% on the 24-hour and almost as much on the 7-day. Let's take a look at this. Private equity, link2.com. You hear me say it all the time, ladies and gentlemen. Ripple is transforming global payments, and XRP is a part of the top 5 crypto market cap. No doubt about it. With Ripple's SEC case ending, it's a perfect time to invest in via Link2's platform before the opportunity passes by. And you can invest by clicking the link underneath this video and get private equity like Ripple or artificial intelligence companies and other incredible products. Make sure you click the link underneath the video. By the way, if you haven't joined the DPMG group, go join that group. And if you're a non-accredited investor and you're interested in private equity, that group can help you get it. Make sure you get a link underneath the video for that as well. Live today, Crypto Law TV at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. They're talking about waiting on a decision. And John Deaton will answer frequently asked questions like, why is the ruling taking so long? And is Judge Torres being influenced? All that and more. Make sure you tune in. I know I will. Here is a quick clip from Augustin Carstens here. And he admits that the stimulative measures during the pandemic have caused global inflation. And this is going to set the stage for something we're going to talk about in just a second. Take a listen.
There was also the recognition that an important part of the increase in inflation had to do with the stimulative, with the effects of the stimulative impulse that was given at the time of the pandemic and with the Russia-Ukrainian war through fiscal and monetary policy.
Yeah, that is academic banker speak for just simply say it, Augustins. We printed too much money, right? No, they got it, and then add a little accent in there too, and it all sounds so proper, right? But the reality, long and short, is they printed too much money, right? Well, this, along with other stresses in the world, has caused China to take off and be a leader so far in the CBDC world, the digital asset central bank digital currency world. And the yuan usage is soaring in Argentina. Over 500 companies request to pay imports in Chinese currency. Now let's understand this at least as a macro. I don't see the Chinese yuan becoming the global reserve currency, ever. Now, that's my personal opinion, and I'm not trying to sell a used car. I've done a lot of work in studying the transition of national fiat dollars, paper money, that is used as a global reserve currency. And what I have learned over the years is that when a dollar is transitioned, like the pound to the US dollar as the global reserve currency, it is a multi-year transition. So This is not exciting. I don't like seeing this because we know what China's objective is with digital money and their dollars. We know that their dominance can lead to a lot of control over people and the money as well. And it's just, it's very disheartening. But also, I also see it as a double-edged sword for China, because China, in my eyes, because they're a communist nation, they want to control their people in a communist dictator kind of style way. Even though they say President Xi is a president, I think we all understand the reality inside of those borders. So the reality for me is when I think of that, I understand that this BRICS coalition is an opportunity for them to create this entire separate system that doesn't rely on the US dollar or SWIFT in the messaging platform, which is very important too. But with that being said, I have to say, this is going to cause a real crucial moment for China as a leader in the CBDC race and as a leader inside of the BRICS coalition. Because as a communist nation, they have to control their money explicitly, which means that as you grow as a coalition like BRICS and the other countries in a second we're going to talk about that are joining BRICS and applying to join BRICS, we have to understand that China will be pressed at some point to release some of their own personal control over their money in order to be able to continue to elevate the BRICS coalition. At least that's my observation in the long term. But here we see that China Central Bank Financial Services clearing counterparty, we reported yesterday, Shanghai Clearinghouse, launched Digital Yuan, a CBDC clearing and settlement services on Monday, yesterday. Now, with that being said, let's hear from Jim Rickards. Shout out to JT Marlin, XRP Financial for this one here. It says right inside of this, Jim Rickards on BRICS currency challenging US dollar dominance. Economist and Currency Wars Jim Rickards shared his predictions about a proposed BRICS currency in an opinion piece. And what he said was this: the leaders of the BRICS nation, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are expected to discuss the proposed common currency at their next leaders summit in August. We're about 60 days. Let's call it about 60 days from now, okay? And what we're looking at here is possibly the most significant development in international finance since 1971 will be unveiled. He says it involves the rollout of a major new currency that could weaken the role of the dollar in global payments and ultimately displace the US dollar as the leading payment currency and reserve currency. It could happen in just a few years. The process by which this will happen is unprecedented, and the world is unprepared for this geopolitical shockwave, he opined. Rickards explained that there are currently 8 nations that have formally applied to join the economic bloc, and 17 others have expressed interest in joining. Now, we know some of those that we really want to watch out for, like Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and others. We've even heard about European nations which are not listed here, but we've even heard about Germany possibly joining BRICS as well. But here's the other half of this that I just want to hand out here so we all have it. And I believe it is right here. Here we go. Okay, so Rickards noted that the efforts to shift to using national currencies may soon be superseded by a new BRICS currency, which will be announced in South Africa at the next annual BRICS Leaders Summit, which is about 60 days from now. Believing the new BRICS currency will be pegged to a basket of commodities for use and trade among members. Initially, the BRICS commodity basket would include oil, wheat, copper, and other essential goods traded globally in specified quantities. He says here, he further explained, in all likelihood, the new BRICS currency would not be available in the form of paper for use in everyday transactions. It would be a digital currency on a permission ledger maintained by a new BRICS financial institution with encrypted message traffic to record payments due or owing by participant parties. It says here, he clarified that this new currency will not be a cryptocurrency because it is not decentralized, not maintained on a blockchain, and not open to all parties without approval. So that's his 10 cents on that, and we know Jim Rickards is a pretty smart guy, so I'm excited about it. Now, with that being said, all these changes in the financial system, we know XRP has designed and positioned itself to serve as a complement to the system, not a challenge. That's the difference between XRP, the digital asset, and almost every other asset in this space, and certainly Bitcoin. Bitcoin is an anti-bank, anti-establishment, libertarian movement. There's a part of me that loves it, but I have to say, this here does not threaten the system that we're in, nor does it threaten the system we're moving to. And in fact, it serves as a complement. So as we watch that, we have to say to ourselves, we are at the cusp, the precipice of Judge Torres's decision. And with the recent release of the Hinman emails, we have to ask ourselves, how may the judge apply the Hinman ETH analysis to XRP? And shout out to Mr. Hubert here, who puts out a few things that we need to see here. And I'm going to give it to you right now. He says, basically, JV, the Great, put this out, and he said, even though Hinman appeared to have wanted to give an advantage to ETH, what does this have to do with the evidence against Ripple? It's a great question, but the reality here is I think Mr. Hubert has got it right. He says two things. If Torres finds Hinman lawfully excluded Ethereum from securities rules, then she would have to apply Hinman's analysis to XRP as well. And Hinman didn't even consider the size of the holdings or the transparency of them. Not sold as securities, no penalty. Now, on the other hand, if Torres finds Hinman did not lawfully exclude Ethereum from the securities rule, but accepts that the impression was justified that based on Hinman, a reasonable person could believe XRP falls under the same rules, may be sold as a security, but no fair notice and no penalty. I think that is an excellent observation, and I know Mr. Hubert I don't believe is a lawyer, and I'm certainly not either. But I tell you, that is an excellent observation, and I do believe that because the emails were unsealed, it reveals at the very least that the emails and these documents are absolutely a part of the Judge Torres final ruling. But what will she say? We could be any day. Could be today even. Then here is a follow-up here. It says some people act like they don't understand the XRP community, why we're not in favor of Hinman's arguments. They can't see how Ripple's blue sky argument is many times legally more sound than Hinman's completely arbitrary construct of decentralization. No post-sale obligations is the good. Actually legally tenable and verifiable argument. Sufficiently decentralized is not how has the argument worked out so far. And I think that's an excellent follow-up to this. And I have to say, if we go back to the blue sky argument from Ripple, I remember legal analysts in this space coming out immediately after that was dropped and said that this was written so well, it seemed like a Supreme Court argument, the way it was written. And, you know, when this court case first dropped, I remember Stuart Alderati saying, goodbye Howey test, hello Ripple test. And I still believe that there will be a journey that could take us all the way to the Supreme Court. We shall see. Now let's take a look at this. Here's a quick clip right here from the one and only blockchain backer. I got to meet him in person at XRP Las Vegas 2023. I tell you, he's going to lay it down, and the way he lays it down in this video is much like what we talked about on the day that I got to talk to him. And shout out to him for this. I'd like a $10, $13 XRP or $25 XRP. And let me be clear. You know, I believe Ripple from the very beginning. I believe that they will achieve the things they've set out to achieve. You don't have to, but I do. And I do believe ultimately we see 4- and 5-digit XRP price at some point. But we got to get here first. And I understand that too. And don't think for a second that I won't be taking some profits if we get into this $10 to $25 window, because I've seen 2 bull runs happen and I didn't take profits on either one. I've learned my lesson. I'm going to be taking some profits on this one. But that's not financial advice. It's me sharing my digital perspectives. Now here's blockchain backers.
Elliott wave. Contracting triangle composed of ABCs. That's what the move would be. 2, Fibonacci extensions. And 3, an equivalent sized move from the past, which is what we saw on both Bitcoin and Ethereum in 2021, sort of baked into the cake of the market makers, as you would say. So to each their own on which one they think it is. Like I said, I lean much more on talking about catching up on these market caps, 4.236 extension, just like Bitcoin and Ethereum have already done. But in the circumstance of, let's say, Ethereum starts cranking out towards a new all-time high, and that this is a completed extended flat, suddenly it opens the door wide open on this thing. That has an argument to it. As of right now, the math does not work for the market cap of XRP to catch up to Ethereum. Even if Ethereum gets right up near its all-time high, the math just doesn't work for XRP to go cranking above, $10 or $13. But if Ethereum does go into new all-time high, it really does kind of open that door up. So in order for me to actually say, hey, I am actually a believer that $25 is in play, I have my rules there, right? Like, I need Ethereum to go to, I need Bitcoin to go to. You get me both of those, it really opens that door. And that's probably the thing that I'll be looking for first before you ever kind of get me off of here, off this $10 area, and start getting me believing in the $25 area, is that we probably need to see Ethereum and Bitcoin going first, or everything's going at the exact same time, but Ethereum's just staying ahead of XRP, and XRP's just chasing behind its tail, and they're both flying up to the upside at the same time. And then finally, XRP catches the market cap of Ethereum much higher. But that seems to kind of have been a golden rule throughout the cryptocurrency market for the last 7 or so years. So till then, I have to keep my expectations right here. But in the event of Ethereum setting a new all-time high, or Bitcoin, I will become a much bigger believer that maybe we could get our way all the way up there, and that this was just the most epic contracting triangle, Elliott wave triangle that we've seen in crypto.
And there you have that. And shout out to Blockchain Backer for sharing his opinion on that. And, I think that's an excellent indicator, is to watch how hard the leaders in the space are running at the time. Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think he makes a fantastic point. Again, these are not straight up predictions. These are indicators, things to watch out for, to see how they play out. I've often said too, when we get in a moment like this, when that moment comes, I want to be paying attention to how fast and how quickly it is finding its way to certain price points. Let's just say $10, for instance. I want to pay very close attention. Like, did it take 2 days to get there? Did it take 3 months to get there? Did it take, what I mean? And then you can start to gauge how hard the market is really moving. And if we could look at history's past, we know that these bull runs, when they happen in a very short window of time. So the biggest one that we've seen so far was 26 days, 2017 to 2018, about 26-day bull run there, where we saw incredible gains. Hopefully we get to see that again sooner rather than later, but not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.